Hello, we are live, and this is my very first live YouTube class. I'm a few minutes early, but if anyone wants to chat while we wait for others to join in, that's perfectly fine. Today's 30-minute class is going to be a focus on serratus muscle, which is located and inserts it's located right here at the ribs, first 8 ribs, sometimes 9, and it inserts at the scapula, right? And it helps your scapula to lift, to come close to the spine. Your serratus muscles enables you to punch or swing forward. It helps to lift your arms past 90 and up and over your head. So there are numerous things that the serratus muscle aids with. And today we're going to do a class on that. So if you're here early, until 6 p.m. begins, I welcome you to lay down and just take a few quiet moments here to arrive. I'm going to get some things out of the way. I did not know we're going to be on the screen. I always have an extra yoga mat. So we have a few more minutes. We're going to do a lot of, not a lot, but a few sun salutations. A lot of the time the serratus muscle gets forgotten about in sun salutations because we rush through chaturanga, right? So chaturanga, fingers are pointed forward, our hands are in alignment under the shoulders. We're pushing the ground away, our navel is coming in, right? And then we're lowering down. That lowering down process is about keeping the serratus muscles engaged. And the serratus muscles are a deeper muscle that are actually below the latissimus muscles, the lat dorsi, right back here, latissimus dorsi. So that's our goal tonight. That's what we're going to be working with. So it's funny, I do not have a clock on my phone, so I think we're getting close. We're about 2 minutes, 48 seconds, and I think I got on about 5 minutes early. So we still have some time. If you, again, have any questions you want to throw in the chat, you can. All messages are visible. I should tell you that. So be careful what you on there. So I was reading a little bit before I came on live and checking into sun salutations. And it's interesting, sun salutations sometimes are thought to have began just simply gymnastics. No mysticism to it at all. It's a form of a burpee, right? Some believe, not so much that it's actually meant to organize the solar energies within our solar energies with the solar energies of the sun. There are 12 motions in the sun salutation, which coincides with the sun having 12 parts to his energies. So you can read more about that if you're interested in Inner Engineering, A Yogi's Guide to Joy by Sadhguru. Let me get closer, you can see that. It's an awesome book. Love it, love it, love it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I think we're close, and if we're not, whoever jumps on later can rewind the video, I hope, and join in when they can. So welcome, and namaste. Thank you for joining me on this free 30-minute class. So I'm going to hold my extra yoga mat to the side for now. You don't need one. We may or may not use it. We'll see. You don't need anything else, just yourself, the ground, and that's it. We're going to start laying down, so welcome. Lay on down. I hope you can see me okay. So let's talk about this finger-like muscle, the serratus muscle again. So go ahead and put your hands that shape of index right underneath your pecs here and feel those ribs, right? So the first rib is actually pretty darn high, right underneath the clavicle bone. That's your first one, and it attaches all the way down deep within those ribs to the 8th or 9th rib, and then inserts at the medial part of the scapula in the back, in the spine, the bone structure of the spine. So now what I'd like you to do is take your right hand underneath your lower back, or left hand, and I'd like you to press your ribs down until you can flatten your back onto your hands. That is turning on your serratus muscles. Okay, then go ahead and release that squishing of your hand, bring it down and out. And then let's test our mobility of our shoulders. So we're going to start with our thumbs up on our fists, and we're just going to inhale and stop right above our shoulders, and then just take an exhale. And then I want you to plug your humerus bone, which is right here, into your shoulder socket. And then I want you to continue back, keep your elbows completely straight until your thumbs touch the ground beneath or behind you, and then again push down those ribs. Your ability to mobilize the shoulders without pain, pulling those arms back beyond 90 degrees, is partially being held responsible by the serratus muscles. Okay, and then we're going to bring those hands down. Or if we're going to make that a little more challenging, I'd like you to do it with your thumbs in, so you're getting a little bit more mobility. So then again, this time inhale, halfway up, exhale, plug the humerus bones in, plug the serratus muscles in, and then go all the way back until your index finger touches the ground. It may or may not comfortably. Close your eyes and just start to feel the difference maybe between the left and the right shoulders. About pulling those ribs down, and as you pull those front ribs down, do you start to feel a little bit more happening maybe through the shoulders? And then lift up, inhale. Hands all the way down. If that wasn't challenging or you need a little bit more of a test, let's go palms down, and then you're going to inhale to that 90-degree point again, plug in the bones, and try to get your hands knuckle side flat down behind you, elbows completely straight. Pull those ribs down again, feel broad in the upper back, right? So you've got all of that going on. Feel here, close your eyes and simply breathe. Those who wrote the Upanishads or Upanishadic practitioners used to get all of their information through meditation. That's how they learn the things that we use machines for and MRIs to see how things work and move. They got all of their information through meditation. So can you be still enough to just really allow yourself to submerge deep within this body, these layers, these sheets of your body, and just simply breathe. Simply breathe to see if you can even slow down the breathing naturally. To feel the right side of your body versus the left. And then we're going to go ahead and lift up the arms and bring them down by your sides. Bring your knees into your chest. Feel the lower back flat. Bring your hands around your shins or hamstrings, depending on how you're feeling today. And then extend the legs up towards the sky. Flex the toes towards you, and then point. And then again, stretch. Fold the legs down over the hands, and let's rock and roll till we get all the way up to seated. And then maybe here. Okay. From here, I'd like you to get onto your hands and your knees. I am going to actually use my extra yoga mat for my knees. So I'm going to just open it up a little bit here. All right, so hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Something I noticed today or observed today is that cat-cow isn't so easy for a lot of people if this muscle isn't engaged properly, or maybe it's become dormant, or maybe even winged scapula. So what I'd like you to do without moving your hips is to pull your heart through and notice how your tailbone comes up automatically and you get this arch in your spine. And then I want you to pull your heart up into your back and round, but do not move your hips. Pull the navel to the spine. And then again, pull your heart through. Inhale, send your shoulders back, depress. And then exhale, round. Maybe even squeeze the yoga mat together as you pull your chin in. Feel those muscles in, those deep bear hug muscles, serratus muscles, acting. One more time, inhale. And then exhale, hips don't move forward or backwards. And then I'd like you to walk your hands to your knees and take a seat on your heels with your toes flexed. If that's uncomfortable, you can just simply go right here onto standing on shins. Let's feel the serratus muscles another way. Wrap your hands around yourself. Give yourself a nice big bear hug. Do you feel that separating in your spine? That's your serratus muscles as well. That ability to round at the upper back, okay? So then go ahead, go back to hands underneath the shoulders. And then I'd like you to tuck your toes in, pull your low ribs up and into your spine, hover your knees. Round the upper back, just like you did a second ago in cat pose. Feel that bear hug of an action here. And then I'd like you to begin to shift your hips back and then plunge forward, but keep the knees hovering. And then back. So a little bit of quads, a little bit of hip action, but lots of serratus. Okay, go into this hover again, stay here. And then I want you to kind of depress the shoulders or retract the shoulders, not really depress, and then protract. And then knees are still hovering. Squeeze, and then round, bear hug. And last one, retract, and then protract. This time send the hips back and stretch the legs back into downward dog. Okay, next, we're gonna bring the right elbow to the floor, and then lift it up. Bring the left elbow to the floor, and then lift it up. Let your head come perfectly between your arms. Lift your muscles of your legs up. Don't let your elbows go wide. Instead, hug your elbows back so that your shoulders hug externally. That another action of your serratus muscle. Breathe here into downward dog. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift your kneecaps up. Inhale again through your nose. Exhale, pull your kneecaps up. Inhale to look forward. And then exhale to just walk your feet to your hands. Inhale, I'd like you to just look forward. Shoulders shrug back. And then exhale to deeply forward fold. Press down, root down to stand up and reach your arms over your head. You won't see my hands, but they're reaching up. And then I'm going to flip my palms to face forward. And then I'm going to bend my elbows to 90 degrees, which you'll see. Just stop there for a moment. Hug your elbows back. Create that retraction in a standing position. And then let's find neutral in our tailbones. So your tailbone's going to come down like a third leg. Your pelvic bone is going to reach down. And your sternum is going to slightly lift up. From here, I'd like you to bring your elbows towards one another to create that rounding bear hug, right? And then inhale to open it back up. And then hands up to the sky, look up, and then exhale again, fold in half. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step back into plank pose. Right leg back, left leg back. Check out your fingers, check out your index finger. Make sure it's pointed forward. Your thumbs are pointed towards one another. Nice and wide hands. Fingers spread out. Hands are about under the shoulders, maybe a little wider. Elbows are pointed back. I want you to again lift your quadricep muscles up and round your spine. Feel that bear hug action of when you had your hands wrapping around your ribs. Pull your ribs in. Feel everything really just like swirling around the upper body. And then press it back again into downward dog and don't move your feet. Elbows hug in again. Belly hugs in, arms strong, but elbows not locked. Neck is long, lengthened. Again, inhale, reach forward into a plank. Elbows, knees to the floor. We're gonna lower down halfway, bend your elbows. Stop that halfway point, check your elbows, are they over your wrists? If not, shift slightly forward, and then press right back up into plank with your knees down. And then again, chaturanga, elbows over wrists, and then inhale to plank. One more time, just like that. Elbows over wrists, and then all the way up, knees up. Round the spine, retract the shoulders like a hot dog bun, I call this, and then protract, round the spine. We're gonna do 6. Retract, protract, retract. It gets hard. 2 more. Last one. And then downward dog. Elbows back. Look forward as your inhale. Exhale, I'd like you to heel toe the best that you can to the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, deep fold once again. And then I'd like you to lace your hands at the back of your neck. Let your elbows hug forward or towards your knees. And let the weight of your hands help to just stretch the neck without necessarily pulling, right? It's just a nice gentle traction here for this neck. Find your breath. Find where your breath meets your body physically the most. And then release your hands down and exhale. I'd like you to inhale, root down to lift the arms all the way up. And then exhale, we're going to go right into another sun salutation. Halfway rise. Plank. Exhale. Okay, knees are going to stay up this time in your plank pose. Slowly lower down, keeping your ribs pulled in. Elbows bend, shift forward, and then press right back up, plank, downward dog. We're going to do 6 like this to keep an engagement of these nice bear hug muscles. Inhale into a plank pose. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, press up, round. Exhale, heels to the ground, quadriceps back. Again, here's 3. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to plank. Pull those muscles in. Exhale. Inhale. I know I'm shaking. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, plank. Exhale. Inhale. Downward dog. Stay in downward dog. Find this body organized. Ribs hugging in. Upper back is going to feel like it's hugging someone. Hugging, wrapping your arms around yourself, maybe. And before I have us drop your elbows down one at a time, this time I'd like you to try to lower your elbows simultaneously to the ground. That's hard, isn't it? And then look back. Feel how those muscles are just opening in the back of your spine. And then I'd like you to lower your knees. And then extend your legs all the way back until you find yourself in Sphinx pose. So here, I want you to press down through your forearms. Press down through the tops of your feet until your kneecaps lift up. And then I'd like you to feel like you're dragging the yoga mat backwards towards your feet. And you should feel how it's almost like fingers crawling up your spine. And if you could see underneath the medial scapula where your serratus fingers are kind of plugging in here. Good. Okay, and then from here, I'd like you to bring your fingers together, lace them up, shoelace I call this. Your elbows are like an A, and then I'd like you to lift up again, tuck your toes, lift up your kneecaps, pull your belly button up like you're creating a fire, press down through your forearms to lift up into a forearm plank with laced fingers. From here, I'd like you to walk your feet towards your elbows and sneak your head between your biceps to look towards your ankles. And I want you to press through your forearms, and we're going to do head push-ups. You're going to lower slowly, top your crown of head to the ground, and then press through your arms, forearms, engaging your serratus to lift up. That was 1. Let's do 5 more. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, stay low. Plug your head between your arms. Really push down through the forearms. Walk your feet forward. Feel those muscles of those ribs hugging in. Lift your right leg, bend your left knee. Maybe you find a hover, maybe not. Switch. Left leg up. Strong right knee bends. Maybe you find a hover, maybe not. Left leg down. Both knees down. Hands wrapped to your heels. Crown of head to the ground. Roll forward. Feel that hugging action of your shoulders, bringing your scapula towards your spine. Good. Okay, now we're going to feel the reverse of that. Go ahead, lower your hips to your heels, bring your hands forward, lift up, tabletop, walk forward. Okay, again, lower to your elbows, send your legs back, Sphinx. So we did that rounding action in the serratus. Now we're going to open it up and stretch it. Press again through the forearms. Drag the yoga mat back. Lift the kneecaps up by pressing through the tops of the feet. This is a viable, wonderful option. Or bend your knees. Keep that upper body strong. Maybe reach back. Find your feet inside or outside bind, I'm actually on the inside now, into bow pose. Feel how now you're pulling your scapula away from your spine, right? Push your feet into your hands. You've got 6 breaths here. Draw your knees towards one another, your toes towards one another. Focus today again is with the ribs, not so much how high. And exhale gently, release. Okay. Gentle cobra. So not up dog yet. Hands under the shoulders, maybe a little wider. Maybe even turn out the fingers slightly. Inhale to lift up the chest. Again, press the pubic bone down to support and spread the sacrum. And then I'd like you to tuck your toes. Can you lift up into a plank? It's a big motion. Round the spine. And then downward dog. We're going to move a little bit more. Lift the right leg to the sky. Exhale, shift your weight forward into a 3-legged plank. And then back up, inhale. Shift itself forward, 3-legged plank, keep upper back rounding. Inhale. Last one, shift it forward, round, pop the hips up, step the foot towards the right thumb. Lower the left knee down. Inhale to draw the arms up. Exhale to bend the elbows into that goalpost. And see how I was jutting my ribs out? That was not on purpose. Pull the ribs in. Let that back muscle really help here to stabilize. And then we're going to go hands to the floor to the inside of the right foot. Inhale to spin open. Option here, lift up left quadricep muscle. And just breathe. Breathing to go deeper within the layers of the physical body. And then perhaps layers of how we move, right, energetically. Why? And then bring that right hand down outside the right foot. We're going to step the left leg forward. Release. Halfway up to stack the body over the hips. Exhale, weight is slightly forward and down, nose towards knees. Inhale, press down through the inner feet, use your inner thighs to inhale and rise up. And then exhale, hands by your sides, second side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, we're just repeating. Halfway rise, inhale. Plank pose, step back left foot, step back right foot. Slower chaturanga. Into a nice cobra, pubic bone down. And then downward dog, press up and back. Left leg is going to the sky. And then shift forward, three-legged plank. Round. Inhale, left leg to the sky. And pull forward. Last one. And then stay three-legged plank, round the upper back. Navel in, lift the hips to step the foot to the thumb. Lower the right knee. Pull the ribs in. Inhale to lift. Exhale to bend the elbows. Check in here with the ribs muscles, the serratus muscles, right? Good. Option, right? Inhale, lift. Maybe lift up right knee. Engage that right quadricep muscle. Press down through the left foot, engage the left glute. Stay long through the neck. Option, right hand to the ground. Give yourself a twist. Knee can be up or down. Right shoulder externally rotates, shortening that muscle right here in the right serratus. And then left hand to the ground. Right foot will step forward. Lengthen your spine. And release your spine down. Chair pose, bend your knees. Lower your hips, lift up your arms. This action of lifting the arms comfortably in line with the ears is against serratus mobility. Send your hips back. And then fold down. Two more like that. Inhale, chair pose. Maybe the thumbs go further back. And then Uttanasana. Last one, chair. And then forward fold. Last sun salutation. Inhale. Step back, plank to chaturanga. Knees can be down if you'd like. To rise into a cobra. And then up and back, downward dog. Release your head. Two more breaths in downward dog. Charge up the serratus, pull it in. And then I'd like you to just simply lower the knees down. Cross your ankles and just come to seated on your sit bones here. Bring your hands to your knees. Your legs don't have to cross. You can be in diamond legs, right? Or cobbler's pose. Or if your knees easily go under your hips, not under, but forward and down. Or you can place something underneath your hips here to lift up. Do that. And then I kind of want you to just kind of move forward and back. Like you're just moving with gravity. Finding the pulse beneath you. Rocking your way into neutral. And then you're going to find that sweet spot of where you can rest and sit in that heavy spot of your sit bones. And kind of sink your hips in to lift up your spine, to grow your neck long, and kind of tuck your head in without jutting your ribs out. Pull it in. And just observe how you feel. Anytime you do sun salutations, they are generally energizing, creating heat. a little awakening. So we're trying to calm those energies down now, kind of leaning into ourselves and depressing our shoulders so that they're not up by our earlobes, which they tend to do through the day. But just inch by inch, centimeter by centimeter, all of the layers that have built up in your day, let it go, all of it, all of it. And then I'd like you to just simply tilt your head towards one shoulder, not rushing or forcing, just gentle tilt. And the other way. Letting all the weight, accumulation, dust off. And then lift up the head again through center. Okay, and then I want you to kind of just find some shoulder shrugs. So just around the shoulders, there's no wrong way. Open it up. Actually feels good to move a little faster here for me, so I'm going to do that. So this mobility of the shoulders forward, back and all around, right? All comes with the ability of that serratus muscle to mobilize with the rotator cuff, with the clavicle bone opening up here, right? That feels good. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and let the legs go out in front of us and lower yourself back onto your spine. Nice and easy. Once you get your skull pressed down, feel your chin in alignment with your forehead. I'd like you to walk your heels towards your hips and see if you can reach with your left hand to grab around the left ankle. And then super gentle, slight turn of the chin to the right and tilt of the head to the right shoulder, while maintaining left shoulder externally rotated to the ground. And then release the ankle and the posture. Feel the left side of your neck maybe and shoulder a little spacious. And then we're going to repeat that other side. So you're going to kind of creep the right hand around the right ankle, bind, and then tilt the head slightly left and a slight rotation here. See if both shoulders can stay down and relax. Can you pull those serratus muscles down? It's kind of like letting the serratus be the shock absorber for the body. When we tend to hyperextend, it's our nervous system kind of like, what's going on? I'm not used to this, right? No, it's cool, it's okay, it's okay. And then release. Okay, last posture. I lied, second to last. Lift up your hips. Press your shoulders down, press your palms down. Pull the ribs in, so maybe not your highest bridge, but just to feel all of that open. And then slowly lower down, stacking the bones one by one to the ground. Let your feet get wider than your hips now. And just real nice and easy. Let the knees just fall to the right. Maybe turn your head to the left. Take a nice long exhale. And then turn your head back up and over. The knees go to the left. Turn your head to the right. Has a very calming effect. I wish my dog would hear that right now. And then bring your knees back up. Let your knees fall towards each other. Bring your hands to opposite ribs. Kind of feeling a gentle pressure here on the ribs, calming them down with the weight of your own body here. And then let the legs go straight out into Shavasana. Just holding the body here right at that serratus muscle here on the sides of these ribs that go pretty darn high to the clavicle. Acknowledge them. They're really darn deep muscles. Feel the heat of your hands, reaching the heat of the muscle. And if you have time, relax your arms, let the palms go up, let your shoulders get heavy, let the back of your head get heavy. And enjoy the benefits of being still, of your practice. I hope you enjoyed this practice. I hope you'll be back for more live classes. Namaste.